Yo, I'm so excited about what I'm about to tell you about. Check it. We are offering you, because you're listening to this podcast, you actually get a copy of the original Break Time CD. You don't understand. Break Time is what gave birth to Off the Cuff. So because you're listening to this right now, you have access to a free copy of that CD. We sell it at my events for $20. It's on my website for $20. But you, as a result of listening right now, if you go to michaeljr.com/free CD, you get one for free. All you gotta do is pay shipping and it's yours, like for free. Yo, so this podcast is brought to you by Michael Jr. in the Moment Tour. They're our sponsor. When I say there, it's a little weird because it's me, but I'm actually touring the entire country right now. Just go to michaeljr.com and find out where we're going to bring the funny near you. You could actually be in the podcast. Like, you could actually be an off-the-cuff moment and hear your laughs or hear your story or whatever the case may be. So just go to michaeljr.com, find out what city we're going to be in near you, or go there and buy some tickets immediately because they sell out often and often fast. It's michaeljr.com. So get your tickets and come see the In the Moment comedy tour. Yo, so we're going to be dropping this podcast every week. So please subscribe to the podcast. That'll be awesome. Also, write a review, leave a comment, and tell your friends. In fact, tell your enemies. Maybe you won't have as many. How about that? And then use the hashtag MichaelJR_off-the-cuff. I don't want people to think that I'm forcing you to do this because you're my daughter.
It's the impromptu comedy that happens at a Michael Jr. comedy show. And maybe some impromptu information that ties it all together.
It's supposed to be inspirational.
It's time for Michael Jr. Off the Cuff. Dad, can I go play now?
Yo, comedian Michael Jr. here. Welcome to Off the Cuff. I'm excited because this is a super special episode where we're going to do something a little different. I actually brought some friends in. There's a book that I really, really like, and we have decided to read the book together. Actually, we're not going to read the whole book. We're probably going to read the foreword because I never read forewords because it's hard to, like, I don't need you to tell me about the book before I get to the book. I just want to get to the book. So one thing we're going to do is we're just going to sit here. We're going to read the foreword together. These are some of my friends. They're funny, hysterical. I think we got a pretty good English, chemistry. So we're just going to jump in, see what happens. Let's do the thing. Y'all ready?
Ready?
Yeah.
But meanwhile, let's talk about our sponsors. This Off the Cuff episode was brought to you by Michael Jr.'s comedy tour, which is called, what's the name of the tour? In the Moment. Michael Jr. in the Moment. That's the name of the comedy tour, and that's who's sponsoring this. In other words, I'm paying for this whole thing. If you didn't figure that part out. So this one is a little special in that I had this idea. I really, really, really enjoy not reading books. I do. I get a lot out of it. People always say stuff like, the book. You ever hear them say the book was better when they talk about? Okay, you don't know. I gotta tell you who my guests are first before we. Anyway, people sometimes say stuff like, "Oh, the book was so much better." The book's never, ever better. When was the last time you took a book? When was the last time you had a book and some popcorn and some Juji fruits sitting next to your wife? How about that? The book
fell asleep.
The book is never better. So we don't even have a name for this episode that we're doing really, but I brought along with me two really great friends who also have, well, I'll let you kind of figure it out a little bit. One, we have Dory, who you may see with me soon on the road somewhere. Dory, how you want me to introduce? We never said how you want me to introduce you.
Dory, I don't know.
Okay,
good.
Dory. You want me to give your last name? Because Dory's kind of dope alone. Yeah,
It's
we
fine.
probably could.
Whatever
We
you
don't
want.
have to.
Yeah.
Anyway, Dory, we met a long time ago at a comedy conference because she does some stand-up comedy, but she's also a great mom, I think. I never actually saw your kids before.
They're alive.
Well, I haven't seen them.
That's the win
standard.
there. Yeah.
And,
Keep them alive.
Success.
Dory also works with me here in the offices, along with the rest of my really great team. She's phenomenal at that. Anyway, let me tell you who else is here. My man, Mike, is Godwin. Goodwin. I always get it mixed up.
That's a good one.
Godwin is so much more powerful. Though.
It is powerful.
It's got God in
It's
it.
not my name, though.
It's powerful for whoever got it, but it's not your name. Cool. So also is Mike Goodwin. This dude is hysterical, does comedy all over. He's on tour right now with Tim Hawkins. And this dude is just a great, great dude. Anyway, so I got this ridiculous idea. What if we got together and read a book together, a chapter of a book that we like, and then just talk about the chapter, like in the midst of it? That could be kind of cool. So this is literally still an episode of Off the Cuff. However, we decided to go off the cuff. So as I was saying, what I decided to do is I really do enjoy books. Like I don't really sit down. Like I listen to books. I do read. I probably read about 15 books. How many books you guys read a year about? Okay, Dory.
I won't brag.
No, you can tell Goodwin puts in a lot of.
I get the miles in. I get some books
About
in.
how many books?
I probably do 30 a year.
Yeah, because I got books on my shelf right now. I only got 5 books on my shelf. You read 3 of them.
Yeah.
One of them's a children's book.
Yeah.
But it's my book.
Green, egg, and hams.
Green Eggs and Ham. If you're from the hood, that book would be referred to as Green Eggs and Spam. That's what it's called. It's Green Eggs and Spam. And so my idea is we're going to read the book together. Dory's going to read the book, and then we're just going to listen and insert whatever we want to. And the first book ever that we're going to do, Bob Goff's Love Does. Yeah. Now, have any of you read Love Does?
I haven't.
I have not.
Wow, this is so cool. I read Love Does. It is awesome. I actually just went to a surprise birthday party for Bob Goff. You guys know Bob Goff? You met him? You know who?
I know who he is.
Yeah, it's a great book.
I've seen his
Really great book.
picture.
So what age do we stop surprising people for birthdays?
I think after when they regularly go in for EKG.
I think there's a cutoff. I think because they're going to surprise you.
At some point. Surprise, Grandma! Oh, wait. Where's the wheel? Where's the wheel? We did it, everybody. Where's
I
the
think we
wheel?
need to I'm just saying, we need to evaluate
I'm working on
who
that.
we surprising.
Yeah, that is true. I don't even like surprises.
Most people don't.
I don't. Dory, you like surprises?
I love surprises.
For real?
I do. Because I don't have to think about it. It just like all happens to you. It's like the best thing
Okay,
ever.
all right. You're fired.
Okay. Okay, I don't like that surprise. It's got to be a good surprise.
What just happened?
What?
You just said
you
you
like
love surprises.
What just happened? Wow.
Now you don't like them anymore.
I don't like that surprise.
No, that's the surprise it keeps giving. You can go home and tell the kids.
Surprise!
You can tell your
Your
husband,
husband.
I'm home early.
So he surprised you. Be like, I'm not on a trip. Miss the trip.
Oh, snap. Okay, so the book we're going to do, we're actually waiting on the copy of the book to get here.
Surprise. We're going to be surprised when they get here.
I read the book, but we wanted a printed out version of the book so we could
The
actually.
door could open and it could be the food, not the book.
We are waiting on some food as well.
That's another surprise.
So, what have you heard about Bob Goff? Like, do you guys know anything about him?
I heard he's really happy.
Dude,
Like,
dope. You can read the title off your phone, maybe.
Yeah. The title
the whole
is
book.
Love Does.
That's
we
great.
got that.
Okay, that's a wrap. That's a wrap, everybody. That is a
Maybe like
wrap.
the synopsis of what's the book about.
Oh,
Yeah.
that could also be there.
Synopsis. Yeah, while we're waiting on the actual
Okay.
book, we're waiting on Amazon Prime to show up with that. It's a little technical difficulty. So read the what is that thing called?
The intro. Oh, no, this is just the
The intro. Ladies and gentlemen,
No.
you've seen him on the Tonight Show, Comedy Central.
No, this is like the description of the book.
It's like the description, or it is
it is
a
a description. It is a description.
Okay, you're gonna read the description of the book. Okay, cool. Give us the description of the book.
Okay. As a college student, he spent 16 days in the Pacific Ocean with 5 guys and a crate of canned meat. As a father, he took his kids on a world tour to eat ice cream with heads of state.
Hold on a second.
What?
A crate of canned meat. What? I did that. We went on the water, but we was at my house. Like that's
Little spam, sardines.
it was a crate. I'm sorry. Carry on.
He made friends in Uganda, and they liked him so much he became the Ugandan consul. He pursued his wife for 3 years before she agreed to date him. His grades weren't good enough to get into law school, so he sat on a bench outside the dean's office for 7 days until they let him enroll. They finally. Bob Goff has become something of a legend, and his friends consider him the world's best-kept secret. Those same friends have long insisted he write a book. What follows are paradigm shifts, musings, and stories from one of the world's most delightfully engaging and winsome people. What fuels his impact? Love. But it's not the kind of love that stops at thoughts and feelings. Bob's love takes action. Bob believes love does. When love does, life gets interesting. Each day turns into a hilarious, whimsical, meaningful chance that makes faith simple and real. Each chapter is a story that forms a book, a life, and this is one life you don't want to miss. Light and fun, unique and profound, the lessons drawn from Bob's life and attitude just might inspire you to be secretly incredible too.
Wow, that was
I
great.
feel like I should clap.
I know, that was very dope.
Like,
Bob Goff.
standing ovation.
Yeah, you know you're a black dude, right? No, you never seen Bob before.
I've seen him.
You've seen him?
I've seen
It's a black
pictures
dude.
of him.
You got it's a black dude.
Inside.
He's black on the inside. Something wrong. You need a doctor. I just didn't know. Have you seen Bob Goff?
I've seen his
before?
picture.
He looked more pale to me.
Oh well, yeah, he has
not.
his day.
White's the appropriate.
No, white. No. So, who wrote the foreword? Who wrote the foreword?
Bob Goff wrote it on.
He's so humble. He's one of the most humble people. So giving. He's like, look,
He wrote it 10 years ago. Though. Like, he knew he was going to write the
I'm
book.
sorry, no.
I'm writing my foreword.
I'm gonna write the
No, I found it. It's Donald Miller. I'm sorry. It was the introduction he wrote. Okay, wait. I got the forward is cool. Actually, I read the forward. It's really cool. It says, you want me to read it? No. Okay.
Let's just all imagine what it says. Let's just make
How
up a
else are we
foreword.
gonna know?
Go ahead.
I'll read it.
Okay.
Okay, sorry.
I love how much you ask for permission. You got to
Okay,
pull up.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Bob Goff has had a greater impact on my life than any person I've ever known.
Well, what about his mom?
Right.
His mom
Parents.
was like, yeah, she probably had something to do with that.
And while you'll read stories in this book about adventures both big and small, it isn't bears or witch doctors or dynamite that got through to me, though I confess.
What? Wait a minute. You just can't roll.
I can just throw that out.
Listen,
Witch doctors?
I'm telling you, dude.
I'm in.
Bob Goff
Let's
is
get
next
to
level.
the chapter.
He is next level, dude.
Witch doctors?
And bears and dynamite. I don't know.
Dynamite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That got through to me, though I confess Bob's adventures are intoxicating. The reason Bob has impacted my life is because he loves me. Aw. Bob Goff loves people with a force that is natural, and by natural I mean like nature, like a waterfall or wind or waves on the ocean.
Well, those are not forceful. Like, you got a hurricane.
Yeah, we
or-
said waterfall.
That's not force.
It depends on how tall it is,
Niagara.
really.
Niagara Falls. That's.
I've never been in Niagara Falls.
It's-
All this time, I thought it was like the N-word falls because I don't read that way. That's why. So it's weird. I'm
Yeah,
like,
you gotta
I
stay
ain't
away
going
from
there.
that.
They got black people
Please.
falling all over the place. I ain't going
Pushing
there.
you in there.
Dory, would you finish reading?
I'm sorry.
No, I'm just playing.
I'm sorry.
Or wind or waves on the ocean. He loves effortlessly as though love packs annually in snow on what? Okay, sorry. As though love packs annually in snow on a mountain, melting and rushing through him in an infinite loop. There's
It's
no
called flowery language.
It is. Very fancy. There's no explanation for a man who can love this well, save God. I think Bob Goff knows God, and I think God's love flows through him. I'm not alone in these sentiments. There are many around the world who have experienced the same love. What do you do with a man who will get on a plane and fly around the world to attend the wedding of a new acquaintance? What do you do with a man who offices at the Tom Sawyer Island in Disneyland? Because angry lawyers are less likely to yell at him there. There must be a story there.
They're not even going to show up.
And for that matter, what do you do with a lawyer whose business card simply reads helper? What do you do with a man who worked for 2 years to free a child from a prison in Uganda, all because I met the kid and asked him to? How do you explain the fact that he lumbers pajama clad into his garden every morning to find a rose for his sleeping wife?
I do that. I went in his garden and found a rose.
For his wife?
I did.
That'd be so awkward.
That's exact. That would be weird. In my pajamas too, because I don't even have no pajamas. That could be pretty doggone weird.
You got a problem.
the old lady who ran into his Jeep, sending his body flying into the street, to whom he also sent flowers. That was nice. There's the DC diplomats, the new acquaintances to whom he daily sent pizza for a week. I feel like I could do that one, though. Like,
Send pizza for a week?
I know. I'm like,
Stuff is expensive. Plus that's a lot of cheese.
I just wasn't as impressed with that
They gonna
feat.
get-
Like it was like Bears, Dynamite,
All
and
that
pizza.
other stuff.
He sent pizza,
He
though.
should be good by now. Like your impressive levels. You should be judging it anymore.
Right. That's hilarious. Witch doctors and saving kids. Oh, and he bought pizza for a couple
I
days.
can do that. Come on, Dory.
She's like, hold on, I got the pizza part. I agree though. I could do a pizza too.
I just thought that was not needed information. Like it's a little extra. Like
Like
and he
getting
also
the
sent
game-winning
pizza.
shot when you
Yeah.
injure yourself
And he sent some little Caesars. I just want to say.
with breadsticks.
Not even the good pizza.
Oh, that's dope.
The Ugandan judiciary that he took to Disneyland and the refugee camp outside Gulu, where he dug wells and delivered pounds and pounds of clothes. Like, that's cool. Like, I just feel like the pizza. I don't know what
Maybe at a word count.
I don't know how to explain Bob's love except to say it is utterly and delightfully devastating. You simply cannot live the same once you know him. He will wreck your American dream and help you find your actual dream. Okay. I thought it was that. To make it sound like he got rid of people's houses.
People do. He's a dream wrecker.
I don't know if this guy
I know her.
is
Devastating.
helping him. I know, devastating. Pizza.
That's her name too. How you know? Her name was
That
devastating.
day was devastating.
He will wreck your crappy marriage and help you find a love story.
Sounds like devastating.
That's her. That is her. The love story lasts a week. Then it's over.
Destroyed.
To know Bob is to have a facade.
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 You don't have one right now. Pronouncing that word.
Facade you've spent your life maintaining beautifully, strewn to ruins, while like a friend, he comes alongside you as you rebuild. Bob has offered to get on a plane on my day of trouble, called at exactly when I needed him to, spoke a word of truth.
Hey, wait. How long is a forward?
It's almost over.
Another
I
book.
never read forward. Like I don't. To
This
me,
is the energy I could be spending reading the book.
you telling me about the book?
I have a limited amount of reading energy.
I already bought it.
Maybe we just read the
When I-
forwards
listen,
of the book.
When I see a forward, I think it means continue. I don't even read it.
Like,
It's like it-
go by this
like,
to
go
chapter
forward.
1.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
You know these
All right,
words.
2 more paragraphs. Should I keep going?
Okay.
Okay. Bob has offered to get on. Oh, I already read that one. Never mind. One more paragraph. This book will be troubling for some. We don't like to put hands and feet on love. When love is a theory, it's safe. It's free of risk. But love is in the brain, changes nothing. Bob believes that love is too beautiful a concept to keep locked up behind a forehead like a prisoner. Those I've introduced
Good.
Bob to, and there have been many, find it hard to put into words what is different about him. Oh, there's another.
Well,
Paragraph.
Mr. Miller hadn't found it hard.
Another paragraph.
Put it in words. He's put it in words. For
Mr. Miller
everybody.
has found the words. He found it. He found his story brand.
Found all the words.
But the title of the book says it all. Where you and I may want love and feel love and say love, Bob reminds us that love does things. It writes a letter and gets on a plane. It orders pizza. And
The
jumps
pizza
in a lake.
again. She
It
has a
says
problem
that.
with that. She has a problem.
I don't know why that's so...
Story brand. Is that the Miller? Is that the
Love.
Daniel?
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
guy that
yeah.
wrote the. Yeah.
No, he didn't write... Yeah, this is Don Miller. Oh,
That
yeah,
wrote
yeah.
Story
Yeah.
brand.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I just made the connection.
He was at the party.
Oh yeah, he wrote another book I
There was a
read
donkey
too.
there too.
I believe
At the
it.
party.
A donkey?
There was was it a donkey? Or was it
What?
Hey, do you have your shoes on the wrong
They
feet?
hire a donkey?
It's a grown man. You don't got any shoes on the wrong feet.
Like
I
that.
think his knees was touching.
When you had them,
The inside of his knees
yeah,
was
it looked
touching.
like
That's
yeah.
what
it was like-
Let's stay focused, people.
That's how my son's shoes look. a lot.
So he brings up the pizza again. I don't know why with the pizza. Anyway, it orders pizza and jumps in a lake. It hugs and prays and cries and sings. Much of what we've come to know and believe about love doesn't ring true once you know this man whose love does. What a privilege to introduce you to my friend Bob Goff. Sincerely, Donald Miller.
All right.
So wait, what about a donkey? There was a donkey at the party?
At the
I
party.
don't
The
understand.
party
Did they
there
rent
was.
the donkey for the party? Like you could ride donkey?
It was a little weird. We were riding donkeys at the party. I actually got
No.
video footage.
They weren't.
Yeah, and I took a video of the donkey walking through the party because there were some
Right.
big players there.
Right.
And now we're going to edit the video. We plan to edit the video and make it a video at Bob Goff's party from the
Right.
donkey's perspective.
So let's play the game of how many black people and white people do you think were there?
Oh, I played the game on the way there. So I went there with my boy Miles McPherson and his wife, and my wife was there too. We was like, it's going to be a lot more black people here because he worldwide.
Right.
We got there and we saw 4 other ones, but there was a mirror on the, and it was like, this is not 4, it was 8 total. But Bob got a lot of black friends. They just didn't
they
fly
didn't come
all the
to
way
the
to San
party.
Diego. This was mad cool. This episode of Off the Cuff, we actually kind of went off the cuff and went off the plan. Like normally we do a normal thing, as you kind of know, but we were okay literally going off the cuff. And as you can tell, we had a bunch of fun. So remember, as always, if you enjoyed this episode, make the episodes of your life better by being okay with going off the cuff. I'm Michael Jr., and I'm out.